Hello guys, T-Take99 here and welcome to another episode of Derbies the History. Yes, I haven't uploaded for a very long time. Mainly the only excuse I can have is year 12. For those of you who know, in Australia, that's pretty much the penultimate year of high school. And we start it at this point and then we go on till September, then we do the HSC. So yeah, big stuff. So anyways, what a way to refresh my return to this channel by doing another Derbies of History. And this time we are going to Poland with the aptly named Holy War between Wisla Krakow and KS Cracovia. And I just want to state I will be butchering a lot of Polish names here. I apologize in advance, and to keep on score of how much I stuff up saying these Polish names, I'm already stuffing up now. I'm saying these Polish names. I'm going to be having a live counter in the top left corner on how much I stutter or stuff up. So, the historical aspects to this derby are pretty interesting. So, historically, Wisla Krakow were originally owned by communist cops in Poland. That's pretty darn interesting. And Cracovia referenced them as dogs and have called them that ever since. And Cracovia have supposed Jewish roots, so that's why Wisla refer to all Cracovia fans as Jews. That's a bit anti-Semitic, but fair enough. And with this derby being named as the Holy War, it was actually said by a player who used to play for a Jewish side, but then joined Cracovia, and allegedly told his teammates, "Come on guys, let's win this Holy War." He obviously didn't say it in fluent English. I mean, he did, he could have, but it was obviously in Polish. And so this rivalry is even so massive that it even took place during the beginning of the Second World War. When the Nazis occupied Poland on the 1st of September 1939, that's what, not when they occupied it, that's when they walked over the border. The next day there was meant to be a scheduled match. The match still happened. And the match was still, these rivalries were still played off during the German occupation of Poland, which is friggin' ridiculous if you come to think about it. And there was even some cases where the teammates were just sent out to the war to defend Poland, and most of them never returned because they would die. But anyways, there is a big factor in Polish football that I do need to address, and that is hooliganism. It is a very big thing in Poland. It's they're pretty much, to describe it, it's like the 1980s hooligan scene in England. That's Poland right now. That is Poland right now. So pretty much the two firms, the Wisla Sharks, which are for Wisla Krakow, and Anti-Wisla for Cracovia, which is pretty weird how your team is so hated that your rivals firm group are anti your team. That's like Everton's firm, if they have one, I don't know what they're called, are called anti-Liverpool. That would really rustle some jimmies, to be perfectly honest. But there is something I did discover which is actually pretty interesting and makes sense of how big and ferocious this derby is. There is a thing in Poland called the Poznan Agreement. This is meant to be signed by all firms. So it's an agreement saying like there is going to be no weapons brought to fight. So it's just full on fist fighting. However, there are two clubs firms that have not actually signed this. I'll give you three guesses which two teams they are. Time's up. It's Cracovia and Wisla Krakow. that was stuttering, and that's another point. Anyways, and also another interesting aspect to this derby is that there are both stadiums are only separated by 500 meters, which is obviously not far. Literally a very good stone throw and you'd literally hit the other stadium. So people could be literally, and there's also estates in between the stadiums, so you could literally be living next door to your arch rival, which is sort of like how the Merseyside derby is, but more violent to a beautiful extent. But the weird thing is, though, these firms decide to go to these games on buses, even though walking would be so much darn quicker. And so, with history, The earliest recordings of a match of this derby was the 20th of September 1908 that resulted in a 1-1 draw. And the latest meeting was on the 12th of August 2017, and it was a 2-1 win to Wisla Krakow. Now, with this game being in Cracovia, I think it's going to be a lot more interesting. And I believe my prediction is a 1-1 draw. But because usually every game I predict ends up in a draw, like literally, it's always been a draw. So anyways, that is my prediction. That is my conclusion of the derby. It's a bit short because I had to really scrounge to find some information, but I feel like the lack of quantity of information gets made up with the quality of the information, if that makes any sense. There will be another Derby's history video next week for the Scottish derby between Hearts and Hibs. Another very ferocious derby in England. So, not England, Scotland. Oh my god. I'm stuffing this up already. It's going to be a long time. I haven't done this for a very long time. So thank you guys for watching. And to close out this video, I'm going to be showing clips of both teams' ultras to see how they promote themselves as teams and what we could be expecting for the Holy War. Thank you guys, and I'll see you later.
Yeah.